I think it's possible that our infatuation with the mind, with the brain, with being in our heads and logically figuring everything out is some sort of epidemic, some sort of thing that's really taking us away from something true to us. And I also recognize that I'm not demonizing the mind. I'm more seeing like an integration as the best way, not extremely like damning the mind and the brain and just being all hard. It's about this integration piece, but within that idea of integration, one of the things that seems necessary is to lean towards the heart right now, because we seemingly have leaned so far towards the brain and towards the mind that we've lost sight of something. So I really see this process and this activity, this exploration that I'm in, as something that's going to help really reclaim that for our culture. Bring us back into a place of heart-centered choice and heart-centered presence, bringing joy and excitement and passion, all of those things back into our daily life so we can actually live a more healthy and happy world. There's a couple things there. There's a couple things in me that are kind of ringing around. I'm imagining how simple this is. It's so simple, such a simple idea, like living more in the heart, speaking from our heart, being in our heart, all very cliche. And I'd love to pluck that back out of the cliche and into the reality of our world, the reality of our life. And there's something seemingly really important that I want to be emphasizing and exploring for myself. And this is what I want to share, and this is what I feel like I'm here to share. And I'm letting go of how, and I'm just focusing on the fact that this feels true for me. I was thinking this morning about I'm not sure I want to talk about that. One of the kind of interesting experiences that I was imagining was going to occur, and it has occurred and is continuing, is looking at how when we dip into our heart, how it's not just joy and excitement and all these things that are there. There's also oftentimes sadness and grief. And especially for those that didn't really have outlets or ways to process or move that grief, it can just live there. And because it's so hard and scary, it's easy to just avoid it. And when we start really climbing back down into our hearts more, that part comes up. That part comes up to be seen and to be heard, to be felt. And all that pain or sadness that we've suppressed or shoved down, it's still there. And I recognize this as one of the challenges I know for myself, and I know for others that I've spoken to, that the challenge of when we get into our hearts, what else is there? You know, and are we equipped to handle that? Can we be with that? And so I'm in touch with that a little bit right now. I'm in touch with thinking of my brother. It's hard to even place what the feelings are. It's hard to even be clear on what the experience is. It's like I feel grief and sadness. I feel some part of me feels wrong for talking about my brother, almost like using his death as like a platform. And yet one of the things that I really realized this morning when I was thinking about it all was how much his death taught me. And I've been with this before, but today it was about living life. And I started thinking about all the people in the world that believe we have maybe one life to live, or maybe many people that believe in reincarnation, you know. And I started thinking about like none of us actually know. We think we know, and we believe in something, and that's fine. I honor a belief. And yet, everybody, well, they don't have to, but the truth is we don't know. Anybody that's alive in this moment might have a belief, but we don't actually know if we get another chance. And when my brother died, when he was 23 years old and I was 16 years old, it destroyed me for years. 5 years I spent, a mess. And I finally decided I'm either going to let this kill me or I'm going to heal and live and thrive. And so I chose to live and thrive. But what it really taught me was how fragile, precious, delicate life is. And are we truly living? Am I truly living? Are we following our hearts? Are we following our dreams? Are we going to look back and regret? Are we going to doubt the choices we made? Are we going to wish? Something tells me that being more in our hearts, being more present to everything that's happening in our lives, and really living from that place, something tells me that that's a remedy for that regret, for that fear, and for that concern that we're not living our lives fully. At the end of the day, none of us know if we get to come back. We just don't know. And I'm not willing to risk it. I'm not willing to risk missing out on this opportunity to live a beautiful life. So I have to keep following my heart. Moving through the fear. And just keep trusting.